Dumb.
Stupid.
Crazy. Dangerous.
Stinks.
In one word, would I use dope? Nope.
Remember when your biggest worry was if Mr. Belvedere would survive another encounter with American culture? Well, every so often, those same shows would slam on the brakes and deliver what we call a very special episode. Suddenly, your TV comfort zone became a therapy session that you didn't ask for. Last time around, we counted down 6 very special episodes that left Gen X more traumatized than the cancellation of the A-Team, and judging by your comments, you definitely had feelings about every single choice. So, we're back with part 2, tackling 6 more episodes that proved sitcoms could go disturbingly dark when they wanted to. Now, before we dive into this emotional minefield, tap like, hit subscribe, and hype this video. It helps YouTube show this video to more retro TV fans just like you. Let's get started with the countdown with number 6, Growing Pains, Second Chance, ABC. Now, Growing Pains ran from 1985 to 1992. You know the drill. Alan Thicke as Jason, the psychiatrist's dad, who somehow never noticed his son was basically a teenage con artist in training. Joanna Kearns as Maggie, holding down the fort while probably questioning every life decision she ever made.
Oh, come on, Maggie.
Yeah, come on, Maggie. Yes, well, time to go wait for that school bus.
Kirk Cameron as Mike, perfecting the art of the scheme. Tracy Gold as Carol, making straight-A students everywhere feel inadequate. Jeremy Miller as lovable son Ben, Ashley Johnson as precocious youngest child Chrissy, and eventually Leo DiCaprio as Luke Brower, the add-on son that no one asked for. Most weeks you've got Mike's pyramid schemes, Carol's perfectionism reaching anxiety-inducing levels, and Alan Thicke wrapping it all up with a dad joke so corny it could fuel Iowa for a year. Then came Season 4's Second Chance, which aired April 12, 1989, and suddenly your cozy evening viewing became an after-school special you couldn't escape, no matter how fast you reached for the remote. Carol's boyfriend Sandy, played by a pre-Friends Matthew Perry back when he was still perfecting that Chandler Bing swag, was a charming, witty, and handsome college student designed to be Carol's perfect dream guy. He was on the dean's list, amiable, and charismatic. An all-around great guy with undeniable charm that made Carol instantly smitten.
Only Sandy.
Only Sandy?
I meant the one and only Sandy, who I care about deeply.
The character was specifically created over a 3-episode arc to have viewers get to know and love him before his sudden death, making the tragic ending more powerful and unexpected for a family sitcom. Beneath Sandy's positive traits lurked an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Sandy had crashed his car after a night out drinking, and the cops were already talking drunk driving charges.
Sandy was in a car accident last night and hurt really bad.
Suddenly, Carol, Maggie, and Jason were racing to the hospital, and the episode shifted from sitcom to gut punch in about 30 seconds flat. It was messy, immediate, and terrifying. The kind of reality check sitcoms usually saved for sweeps week, except this one wasn't going away. At the hospital, Sandy seemed fine.
Don't you think she looks a little like...
Larry Bud Millman? Yeah.
He was his usual charming self with his sarcastic one-liners and all, reassuring Carol that all would be well, and we were all comforted by this seemingly happy ending. And then Mike of all people. The guy who'd spent 4 seasons avoiding responsibility like it was an Olympic sport, delivered the news that would haunt us for weeks afterwards.
Carol, Sandy just died.
Michael Seaver, that is the sickest joke that I have ever heard, and I am never gonna forgive you.
No fade to commercial break, no Jason swooping in with comforting words, just the crushing reality that sometimes people die and there's no rewind button. For a show that built its brand on family hugs and gentle lessons delivered with all the subtlety of a Hallmark card, Second Chance delivered something Growing Pains rarely did. A brutal reminder that some mistakes don't come with do-overs. Not even when your dad's a psychiatrist with all the answers and a perfectly feathered haircut that never moved. Number 5, Punky Brewster, The Reading Game, NBC and syndication. Punky Brewster ran from 1984 to 1988, delivering 86 episodes of rainbow-colored optimism and mismatched shoes that somehow became a fashion statement.
So, Donald, where are you headed? Donald? Yo, Don! Oh.
Soleil Moon Frye played Punky, the orphan who could fix literally any problem with a smile and a can-do attitude that would make motivational speakers jealous. Most weeks, it was Henry grumbling about modern life while Punky and her friends got into the innocent kind of trouble that made your parents nostalgic for their own childhoods.
Okay, the dishes are done. Hey, Brandon, how's the floor polishing coming along? Missed a few spots, but you did good, considering you're a dog.
But then, Season 4 dropped The Reading Game, which aired in 1988, and suddenly this sugary sitcom went straight horror movie, all because of a bottle under the sink. The story started innocent enough, like most suburban disasters. Cherie's cousin Paula showed up. Talented artist, everyone's favorite guest star, seemingly perfect. Paula kept avoiding this art contest application, making excuses every time someone pushed her to fill it out.
We're trying to get her to enter an art contest in the Chicago newspaper. If she'll ever fill out this application. Back off, I'll do it later.
Turns out, Paula had been hiding a secret that would make every adult lose their minds. She couldn't read, at least not well enough to matter when it counted, and definitely not well enough to decipher warning labels on household products that might kill your little brother.
But what do I do? He looks real sick.
Did you have the bottle your brother drank out of?
Yes, I've got it. It's right here.
Okay. Now, there's a label on it that tells you what to do in case someone swallows it. Read it to me.
Read it?
Yes.
I can't read it.
Is the label worn off?
No, I can't read.
Bobby drank fabric softener. The bottle had clear instructions, give milk immediately. Simple enough for anyone who'd made it past first grade, but Paula stood there frozen, staring at words she couldn't decode, watching her brother potentially die because she couldn't read a label literally designed to save lives. Luckily, Punky and Cherie burst in like tiny superheroes with better reading comprehension and saved Bobby in the nick of time. But the damage was done, not to Bobby, but to any illusion that Paula's secret was harmless. By the end, Paula promised to learn, joking that she'd start with every cleaning product in the house. Number 4. Roseanne, Crime and Punishment, ABC. Roseanne wasn't playing by anyone's rules. Not network standards, not family sitcom conventions, and definitely not the unwritten law that working class families had to be either noble saints or comic relief.
In the 15 years we've been married, has there ever been one morning where there wasn't any coffee?
No.
From 1988 to 1997, it gave us 9 seasons of blue-collar reality checks. Mix small-town Illinois, some cold brews, the ugliest couch you could find, and pure hilarious family love, and you got something that looked like actual America for once. We ate it up because, finally, there was a show that looked like actual American life instead of some fantasy version where dads wore sweaters to breakfast and moms had time to make elaborate lunches that no one appreciated. Then came Season 5, Episode 13, Crime and Punishment, which aired in 1993 and tackled something only daytime gods Jenny Jones and Montel Williams were willing to touch.
I'm leaving. Until you respect my relationships, you're not going to see me again.
Jacky's boyfriend Fisher had been hitting her. This wasn't a misunderstanding or a one-episode plot device wrapped in a Leave It to Beaver bow. Jacky, played by Laurie Metcalf, had been dating Fisher for a while. On the surface, everything seemed normal. Dinner dates, family barbecues, but underneath there was something sinister that was brewing, like mold behind the drywall. But when Darlene noticed bruises on Jacky, because teenagers can't see the dishes they left out 4 days ago, but somehow they can spot every secret adults try to hide, she pressed for answers.
Darlene says your back's all bruised up. No, it's nothing. Well, then let me see. No, don't. Come on, stand still. Well, Darlene, you get out of here.
And what followed was one of the most emotionally raw, quietly devastating revelations in sitcom history.
He beat the crap. No, he didn't. It's no big deal.
It's no big deal. What are you saying? He hit you. It sounded like he forgot your birthday.
We had an argument this afternoon, and he pushed me a couple times. Not Fisher's fault.
Jacky didn't give a Meryl Streep soliloquy about empowerment and self-worth. She tried to brush it off the way you dismiss a paper cut. Roseanne's reaction said everything the script didn't need to spell out. Protective rage mixed with blunt sisterly fury, all delivered in classic Roseanne fashion.
Fisher beat the crap out of her.
What?
I'm all right. I don't want anybody to know about it.
Is she really okay?
Yeah. Amanda, come on. We're gonna go wash your face.
Dan later confronted Fisher himself, fists and all, because apparently some problems require more than a heart-to-heart conversation and a group hug. Jacky didn't immediately break up with Fisher and start attending empowerment seminars. The emotional scars lingered like smoke in a closed room because healing doesn't happen in 22 minutes, no matter what other sitcoms wanted you to believe. In the early 90s, when family sitcoms were busy teaching lessons about sharing toys and homework responsibility, network television rarely touched domestic violence head-on. It was too heavy, too real, and, more importantly, too risky for advertisers who wanted wholesome content between their cereal commercials because, networks. Roseanne didn't sensationalize it or frame it with melodrama worthy of a soap opera. It just showed what was happening in real households across the country. Pain hidden behind smiles at family dinners and behind closed bedroom doors where no laugh track could soften the impact. Now, before we continue with our next 3 trauma-inducing episodes, smash that subscribe button because apparently we all enjoy reliving childhood psychological damage together. Now, let's get back to the emotional carnage with number 3, Saved by the Bell, No Hope with Dope, NBC. Saved by the Bell had all the subtlety of Zach's brick-sized cell phone and twice the charm of a Saturday morning cartoon marathon.
There you are, Zach. I've been looking all over for you. Time out!
Yeah, this is horrible.
Running from 1989 to 1993, Zach, Kelly, AC Slater, Lisa, Jesse, and Screech gave us 4 seasons of schemes, timeouts, and neon outfits so bright they required sunglasses indoors, and made us all want to try some burgers and shakes at the max. Then NBC decided to get serious with their anti-drug campaign because Just Say No wasn't a huge campaign taking over airwaves, commercials, and school programming or anything, and Saved by the Bell delivered Season 3, Episode 21's No Hope with Dope, which aired on November 30th, 1991. And yes, that title tells you everything about the subtlety level you're about to experience.
I'd like to hear what you think about drugs. Screech, you go first.
Oh, I hate drugs. But my doctor says I gotta keep taking them if I want to get rid of my postnasal drip.
The setup was pure Bayside high fantasy. Hollywood actor Johnny Dakota, played by Eddie Garcia, rolled into town to film an anti-drug PSA. But plot twist, Johnny was a massive hypocrite with all the integrity of a politician during election season.
Kelly, it's only pot.
I don't think I want to.
Uh-oh, Johnny. Looks like she's just saying no.
Here was this supposed role model, the beacon of clean living, getting stoned while telling kids to just say no. It was like finding out Mr. Rogers had a secret gambling addiction, except with more hair gel and less emotional devastation. Disillusioned faster than you could say time out, the Bayside crew refused to participate in his PSA. Instead, they made their own, with Principal Belding backing them up like the supportive authority figure he remembered to be around 12% of the time he was actually involved. And then came the ending that made every kid watching either cringe or laugh, and sometimes both simultaneously. The cast broke the fourth wall to directly tell kids at home, don't do drugs.
Dumb.
Stupid.
Crazy. Dangerous.
Stinks. In one word, would I use dope? Nope.
This was peak NBC in the early 90s, when networks were under pressure from parent groups to either actually care about kids, or at least pretend long enough to avoid FCC regulations and angry letters from concerned citizens. Was it corny? Absolutely. Did it feel like an after-school special dressed up as a sitcom? You betcha. But did it capture the era's bizarre mix of teen comedy and straight-faced moralizing? Without question. No Hope with Dope remains a nostalgic time capsule of the don't do drugs era of television.
I'm Brandon Tartikoff, chairman of NBC Entertainment, and I've got a hit idea for the new fall season. Don't do drugs.
There's no hope with dope.
Equal parts sincere and absurd, exactly like the show itself. Number 2, Family Ties. Give Your Uncle Arthur a Kiss, NBC. Family Ties ran from 1982 to 1989, cranking out 176 episodes of denim, economic debates, and generational whiplash. The setup was genius. Stephen and Elise Keaton, played by Michael Gross and Meredith Baxter, were ex-hippies trying to raise kids in the 80s, including their oldest son Alex, a young Republican who worshipped Milton Friedman and owned more ties than his father ever did. Most weeks you got family dynamics that felt both timeless and completely specific to the early 80s. You know, arguments at the dinner table, debates about whether selling out was inevitable, and enough denim to clothe a small country.
I won't stand for this. This is a travesty. This is a sin against capitalism.
But then came season 1, episode 6, Give Your Uncle Arthur a Kiss, which aired in November of 1982. The episode introduced Uncle Arthur Press, played by David Spielberg, in that classic sitcom tradition of, let me introduce you to my oldest friend in the world who you've definitely heard me mention constantly, but have somehow never met until this exact moment when the plot requires it. He was the kind of family friend who remembered birthdays and seemed to genuinely care about everyone's lives. The perfect honorary family member, basically, until he decided to make everything incredibly weird and incredibly uncomfortable.
Now, before we start working, why don't you give your Uncle Arthur a hug?
Arthur.
He hit on Mallory. Yeah, you heard that right. Mr. Family Friend, Mr. I've known you since you were in diapers, decided it was totally appropriate to make a romantic pass at a teenage girl. Not exactly your typical sitcom hijinks. What made this episode land like a punch to the gut was how Family Ties handled it with restraint that made it feel like an HBO special rather than a family sitcom. It was raw, uncomfortable, and refusing to soften the edges.
I can't understand why he would do something like this. No, neither can I, but you can bet we'll find out when we talk to him.
And this aired 6 episodes into the show. 6 episodes! Most shows wait until they've built audience trust before dropping something this heavy. Family Ties, on the other hand, said, hey, welcome to our show, here's your trauma. The episode doesn't provide easy answers or tidy resolutions. Arthur doesn't get arrested on screen or receive the comeuppance that would make the audience cheer. The family doesn't gather around for a meaningful discussion about boundaries and trust with soft piano music and life lessons clearly spelled out. It just ends, leaving everyone to process what happened. This episode is a reminder that predators don't always look like the scary strangers your parents warned you about. Sometimes they look like Uncle Arthur, bringing presents and warm smiles and decades of family trust, which is exactly what makes it so easy for them to get away with it for so long. Number 1, Mr. Belvedere, the counselor, ABC. Mr. Belvedere was the kind of show you watched on Friday nights when you just needed something safe while eating leftover pizza and avoiding homework. Running from 1985 to 1990, it gave us 117 episodes of the Owens family and their unflappable British housekeeper, played by Christopher Hewett, channeling Mary Poppins if she'd been a British gentleman with strong opinions about American culture.
Last call for alcohol.
Is this supposed to be funny, Mr. Belvedere?
Not at all. It's just that since you've decided to take up drinking, I think you should learn to do it properly, not in that slovenly American way.
The show had a simple formula that worked like clockwork. Wesley caused mischief, his teenage siblings dealt with typical 80s problems, and Belvedere dispensed dry British wit while looking mildly offended by American informality and the Owens family's complete inability to properly set a table.
Mr. Belvedere, is this your day off?
Oh, no, ma'am. Is there anything you'd like?
Yeah, breakfast.
Then came episode 20 of season 4, The Counselor, which aired May 6th, 1988, and Safety went straight out the window, packed its bags, and moved to another country entirely.
I don't see why I have to go to some stupid day camp anyway. Rather go to summer school with Heather.
Wesley went to summer camp, which seemed like the most normal American thing possible. You know, canoes, campfires, s'mores, the works. Standard sitcom setup. You're probably expecting shenanigans, pranks, maybe a food fight or two, you know, typical Friday night family viewing. But then a male counselor crossed a line that turned everything dark faster than you could register what was happening. At camp, Wesley wasn't just suspicious. He knew what that counselor was capable of, because he'd already crossed a line with him.
Getting goosebumps.
The episode didn't sensationalize it. Instead, it showed Wesley wrestling with fear, shame, and the impossible question of whether anyone would believe him.
Are you upset about anything that happened yesterday?
I just didn't like that stuff you were doing.
Oh, well, listen. I tell you what. Why don't we forget that yesterday ever happened?
Fine.
It'll just be another one of our little secrets.
When he finally decided to speak up, it wasn't just to protect himself. It was to keep another kid from being hurt.
You shouldn't let him go with Mr. Perry. What do you mean, Wes?
Yeah, Wes, what's the problem?
Because if he goes with him, he might try to do something. Put his hands on him or something.
Well, what do you mean, honey? Why do you say that?
Because that's what he did to me.
It was a quietly devastating moment, and one that showed more honesty and courage than most adult dramas of the time ever dared to. Let that sink in. Mr. Belvedere tackled inappropriate behavior with children on primetime family television in 1988. There was no moment where everything felt resolved, no reassuring speech from Mr. Belvedere that made it all okay. The episode left you sitting with the discomfort, which was exactly the point. Some things shouldn't be wrapped up neatly. What made it powerful was Wesley's motivation, which went beyond self-preservation. It was about protecting another child from going through the same nightmare, from experiencing the same violation and confusion and fear. For kids who watched, the message stuck harder than any Just Say No campaign or Stranger Danger PSA. The Counselor wasn't just another very special episode, it was the very special episode that proved sitcoms could handle the absolute darkest subject matter without exploiting it. For a show about a British butler teaching Americans about etiquette, that's one hell of a legacy. And there you have it. 6 more very special episodes that proved sitcoms could leave longer lasting impressions than any laugh track ever could. The vault of sitcom trauma runs deeper than anyone wants to admit, and we're just getting started. So, which very special episode should we tackle in part 3? Drop your picks in the comment section below, because misery loves company, and apparently so do nostalgic YouTube viewers. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the shows that occasionally traumatized us, while teaching us that sometimes the most important lessons come from the places you least expect them. And remember, until next time, this is Remember When.